Hello, how's everyone doing today? Very excited to be here. This is my second vlog here. Like I said in my other video, I really enjoy YouTube, watching some of the videos. Think some of them are very cool. But in my heart, I thought I'd use YouTube in a different way. I am a Christian, and I wanted to use YouTube, as I explained in my other video, as a medium or a way that I can reach people for Jesus Christ, to bring the gospel to everyone that views my video. So with that being said, I want to speak about today about the favor of God on God's children. How having the favor of God implements a lot of things. How having the favor of God, you're highly esteemed by Him, and He protects you and guides you and helps you through this life. It's so difficult. This life brings a lot of difficulties and a lot of problems, and this life and this world is not perfect. But there's one that is perfect. His name is Jesus Christ. And He gives us the ability to do what we are called to do through Him. And I'm very excited to speak about someone in the Bible that's been an influence in my life. And every time I read about him, he gives me that strength and the encouragement to go forward in the things of the Lord. And who I want to speak about today, his name is Joseph. Joseph is a young man. The Bible says that he's about 17 years old. So he's a teenager. But he was just no ordinary teenager. He had the calling of the Lord on his life, and God was with him throughout any situation that came along. And so I want to speak about him today, and I want to start off with who Joseph was. The Bible speaks of that Joseph was the youngest of all Jacob's sons, and he was also Jacob's favorite. He was his favorite son. Also, the Bible speaks about how Joseph favored him in every way. That he even bought him. He had made especially for him a garment of many colors. And when I speak about a garment of many colors, you know, it's not like today that you can go to anywhere and buy yourself anything of many colors. You know, any garment of many colors, a shirt or a tie, or I don't know, a suit, you know, or anything, a dress. Back in the days, it was very difficult to get something like that, made of many colors. So it's like saying today that that Joseph might have been wearing a Rolex watch. You know, that's how expensive it was. It's really expensive to wear things like that back in those days. So their brothers were really upset and really jealous because of the attention that Joseph got from his dad. So throughout his life, he was hated by his brothers. He was despised, and he was not liked very much. And jealousy started growing in their hearts. And I mean, it got to the point where they really just talked about him so much and hated him so much, and nothing good just came out of their mouth about Joseph. You know, Joseph had the favor of the Lord in his life. And sometimes when you have the favor of the Lord in your life, people are going to see that. And you might not be liked, you might be despised, because everything these hands do for the Lord, with a willing heart and a sincere heart, God prospers that. Because the Bible speaks of how anything that you touch, God blesses. So the Bible speaks of that Joseph, one night he had a dream. He had a dream where he saw bundles of grain around a bundle of grain that was in the center. And the bundles of grain and the circle in the bundle that was in the middle, who was in the middle was Joseph. Joseph's bundle of grain. And in the sides, it was his brother's grains. And he saw that his grain that was in the center, it stood up higher than the ones that were on the side of him, circling him. And not only that, but their grains bowed down to him, to the grain that was in the center, that stood up higher. So he communicated this dream to his brothers, which in my personal point of view, I would not have done that, because that would have brought even more animosity with his brothers. But Joseph, I guess, not being very wise, he just said his dream, you know. It wasn't his fault anyways that God speak through him through dreams. That's just the way God is sometimes. He'll speak through people through different ways. But that's just the way that God chose to speak through Joseph, was through dreams. So the Bible speaks of how he said this dream to his brothers. He communicated the dream to his brothers, and their brothers just looked at him like, what? You know? So you're telling us that you're going to reign over us? That you're going to be some kind of king over us? You know, they, like, in their minds were like, I don't think so. So they hated him even more for that. One day, the Bible speaks of how his dad spoke to Joseph and told him, you know, I sent your brothers to tend the flock kind of far away. Can you go and make sure that they're okay and bring word back to me, see how they are? And and Joseph went. He was very obedient. So he goes to see how their brothers were and to see what they were doing. But in the way, their brothers were plotting to destroy him, were plotting to kill him actually. And I could already see them, you know, like their brothers were like, man, that Joseph thinks he's all that. That Joseph thinks that he knows everything. Oh, that Joseph is just taking advantage that he's Dad's favorite, you know. And I could see them where I hate him, I want to kill him, you know, because they weren't getting that attention. But it wasn't Joseph's fault, because God saw Joseph's heart and God was with him. And the Bible speaks of how they were trying to, or plotting to kill him. And so there he came to see how his brothers were, and they trapped him in there. They grabbed him and they were going to kill him right there. But God's hand was with Joseph, so no harm was going to come to him. So God, I guess, touched Reuben's, one of his brothers, to stop him and say, hey, don't kill him. Just throw him in this pit and just leave him in there. So they just threw him in the pit, left him in there.